Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. How are you doing? Today's episode is all about one of the most nutrient dense vegetables I grow. One of the major reasons I started growing food was because I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia. I had to learn what foods would be best to heal my body. These foods would be really important if I had enough of it. The main issues I experienced were it was really expensive to get hold of it and buying it organic as well. And also, I wanted a variety, and most of them you couldn't buy in the shops. And no, it's not sweet potatoes. If you want to know what it's all about, come with me. I'll just drop this first. Anyway, this is the middle of June at my allotment. If you want to see what is going on, I'll just show you a really brief, breeze through, and then we'll go ahead and plant these healthy vegetables that can heal you. Try as much as you can. You can't avoid picking weeds here and there when you're at the allotments. Anyway, come along and I'll show you. Let's start with the polytunnel. The polytunnel has so many exciting things, I must say. Would you like to see them? Let's go inside. Ooh. Ooh. It's always hot and sweltering in here, but it's a lovely place to be because you see all the beautiful things that are growing. Just a brief stop by. Okay, sweet potatoes in this pot are doing amazingly well. We have a few random runner beans in here, but most things are sweet potatoes and they're happy. Look, I'm just there seeing that. Wow, my first runner beans. I didn't even know they flowered a few days back, but I didn't even notice it. So that's really exciting. That's what I mean. The polytunnel is an exciting place. Let's look and see more things. Let me show you a few more things that are exciting me at the moment in here. Peppers. We have loads of peppers in the UK in June, considering the really horrible weather. So my little gamble worked, like really worked. Can you see? Look at that. One. Can you see that one? Look at that one there. Two. Look at that one. Yes, I have a lot of peppers. And these have been grown in clumps, so they're grown together. Let me show you this pampered pepper. I don't know if I've shown you on my videos. Can you see the amount of peppers there? It's ridiculous. I am so excited and I can't wait to start harvesting these. We have that tomato plant that's self-seeded. I've got one large garlic plant in the corner there. My okra, don't ask, okay? One okra is still standing. That's all I can say. Lemongrass, on the other hand, is looking really brilliant. And I've shown you this beautiful pepper that is absolutely covered in fruit and flowers. And this is my hot habanero pepper. The few beetroots I put in here last minute are doing good. So I'll get beetroot soon from the poly. Sweet potato in the bag. Sweet potato growing in this bag is growing so well. I'm really hopeful that it won't just be leaves, that will have lots of beautiful, delicious fruit as well. Okay, it's the purple variety. I've also got the other variety here. And look, this one as well is doing amazingly well, like so lush. I just can't wait to see what the fruits will be like. It's an experiment. I've never done this in bags before, so we'll find out. Okay, it's so hot, I'm sweaty. So back to the vegetables we're about to grow. There are brassicas. Now, brassicas are your green leafy vegetables. We have your purple sprouting broccoli. These are mainly your winter vegetables. And though this is June, this is the best time to grow them. I still am harvesting purple sprouting broccoli in June. Yes, I don't know. I think it's a late variety, but I'm growing the same one. It's the claret, if you want to know what variety that is. So I'm going to go and plant this and some Brussels sprouts. And we have all the vegetables in there that are really important to my healing journey that I'd like to show you. I also have some cauliflower here. This will also be winter collies, and this will be put out tomorrow. I need to prep the other brassica beds. So brassicas, I grow lots and lots of it. Let me take you over to the brassica tunnel and let's grow this, sweaty and all. Oh boy, that was really hot in there. Now this is one of my brassica tunnels. We actually have 3 brassica netted areas. This is one of the biggest crops I grow because it has helped heal me. I take it in juices, eat it in salads, and also smoothies. If you want to know how I've healed fibromyalgia, I'll put a link in a few of the videos where I do my recipes on how I actually use them. But now it's time to plant. So this is planting day. And as I was talking about having some more of these, brassicas, I have purple sprouting broccoli. It doesn't look like a lot, but these are really, really nutrient dense and edible and still delicious in June. So I'm going to keep enjoying them. If you easily get put off by the bitter taste of brassicas in the spring, try not to be, because the bitterness actually is a sign that it's higher in glucosinolates. Basically, it's just a higher level of antioxidants. So bitter is good for you. Sorry, the sun is literally on my eyes. Bitter is good for your liver. It helps your detoxification pathway. Sweet is not always the best. Obviously, we want tasty, palatable food, but bitter brassicas are not bad for you. Okay? So, where we're gonna start, I just make space where available and I plant. And if you were asking, do I not rotate this bed? Right, this brassica tunnel is only 2 years. This is second season growing in it. I haven't rotated. I usually do try to rotate my brassicas because of club roots, but I've never had club roots. Now I've said it, I hope not to have it. I will not have it. However, this structure really has helped us grow taller brassicas and overwintered, and it's a bit of a shaded structure. As you can see, we use scaffolding netting, so even with the heat wave, I'm fairly confident that this tender plant will thrive. Now let's just bring one out and I'll show you how we go about putting that in. It's a bit root bound, but not much, actually perfect. So this is the perfect time to plant this out. Before I put them in the soil, we want to make holes that are about 6 inches deep on average, because we want to ensure that this is buried all the way up to this stem. Because these plants grow fairly tall and they get wobbly, and if the Brussels sprouts get wobbly, they won't form the nice rounded heads which we love, and also they won't just thrive. So we try to do that. Let's show you what my planting hole is like. Into each planting hole, I put a little bit of this. It's basically a mixture of eggshells, chicken pellets, or horse manure, whatever I have to hand. And then I'm just going to go ahead, after taking off those lower leaves, I'm just go ahead and put that in. And you can see how deeply I have buried this, okay? It's really important it's buried fairly deeply. And now I'm covering this with soil, not necessarily with the mulch, simply because this mulch here, you can see it's really nice and moist. That's one of the reasons we have the mulch, especially in this weather. You can see how moist. I haven't done any watering here, but the mulch helps keep the soil nice and moist. However, if it's in the root zone, it's going to affect the nitrogen absorption of this plant. So it's going to actually compete, because nitrogen is necessary to break down this mulch. It's mainly old rotted compost that has not fully rotted and wood chips. So this is what I'll do. If you're worried about slugs, you can use slug pellets, but I'm hopeful because the weather is not too wet at the moment. We might not have slugs. Other things I try to ensure I get rid of are things like any weeds, and this is one of the benefits of mulching with compost, because you can see here we have no issues with weeds, only a few random bindweeds that are literally almost crazy to get rid of, but we try. Okay, let's go ahead and plant the whole lot. This red ball Brussels sprouts, I have tried to grow it. This is my 3rd year and it doesn't do so well as the other ones. I still try. So same thing like we did the other one. Just get rid of the lower leaves. And these plants were put in, did I put a date? On the 2nd of May. So just about 6 weeks old. They haven't grown really well. This is one of the problems with the new compost we've been having. So otherwise at this stage they should be a lot bigger with the weather. But hey ho, hopefully now they're in the soil, they do better. So I'm just going to go ahead and water, and this is the process I will do this. Now, a lot of people struggle with growing brassicas, which is green vegetables. if you're one of those people, do not despair. What you need is really rich soil, and you need protection. you, you need to protect your bed. You need to protect these plants. They're really, really precious. So when you plant them, first and foremost though, the basic ones are ensure it's deep rooted, like this, and then ensure you have a protection of netting. You probably need to feed it. I do sometimes. I have a homemade manure tea I make. Actually, I'll put that video up next, how I make this, because that is really, really beneficial. Anyway, enough talking. I'll go ahead and plant, and I'll see you at the end. So Brussels sprouts will go in first. These are Eversham sprouts. They're meant to be big sprouts. Last year, all my sprouts died, like all. They all died from the cold, the frost we had. So I'm hopeful that this year will be different. Fingers crossed. And I have aphids already on these. Can you believe that? Aphids already. Unbelievable. Yes, aphids attack the tender leaves and also whitefly. So we just have to protect them from everything. Now, these ones are still quite little. Like I did say, they didn't grow early. Will still bury deep, okay? And this is another thing you need to know about growing brassicas. It needs really, really good spacing, like really, really good spacing, because they're very hungry plants. They would feed in a big area, so space them as well as you can, and ensure that you give them enough water. And that's why I do my compost mulch, to ensure that the soil is fertile where I'm planting and remains moist all through the season. They don't like it too hot either, so if you're in a very hot climate, it might not do as well as if you are in a coolish climate like I am. Next, I'll go ahead and water it. And we'll go next to our purple sprouting broccoli, which obviously you can see has been in this bed. Remember, I talked about my compost tea I make. I'm just going to give it a really weak solution just to help it with transplant shock. Really weak. Yeah. So just about 10 mils in the water. And then I'm just going to make sure these plants are soaked because it's hot. And they've been in the polytunnel. Although the polytunnel gets hot, they've not been exposed to direct sunlight. However, we are in a shaded, netting, so they might still be fine. So give it a good water, ensure everything is well watered, and look how beautiful and happy they look. That's everything planted. These are the purple Brussels, and these are the normal ones, the Eversham. And also, these are all called kalettes. So this is a cross between a kale and a Brussels sprout. They produce flowers like the Brussels sprout, and they're so delicious. And they're actually, apparently, I'm not sure, I can't verify, but apparently these are more nutrient dense than even the Brussels sprouts. So I grow a lot of kalettes. As you can see, those are kalettes, and I have some kalettes at my other plot. Sorry if the sirens are buzzing, I think an ambulance or something. These are the purple sprouting broccoli. These are the babies. And look here, these are the ones from last year. And you can see they're quite pretty tall, really, really heavy stems. So they need staking if you can. I didn't stake this, but this year I'm going to make sure I stake my brassicas because that helps them grow and stay longer. But thankfully, these plants were buried really deep. I also have some over here. And then I'll show you the ones that I have already growing in this tunnel. Yes. I have one of those nutrient dense ones, a broccoli, which is very common and popular, beginning to form heads. Hopefully this broccoli will go in a couple of months, and I have more seedlings of Brussels sprout and purple sprouting broccoli growing. So always have seedlings to hand. Don't just plant once and stop. I also have 2 more seedlings, not because I don't have room for them, but it's also important to have emergency, just in case you come tomorrow and slugs or something have decimated your plant. So guys, I hope this has helped. This is one of the most nutrient dense things I grow. I have kale here. These ones are a bit shaded. Like I said, you need to space your brassica as well. But this kale will be leaving. that one will leave in a couple of months, and these will continue to grow. The leaves are edible even before it shoots, okay? Even before you start having the sprouts. That's what I mean. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If it's added value to you, if you've enjoyed it and it's made sense, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And also, if you haven't yet subscribed, can you kindly subscribe? Let's grow. Let's let more people know that we can grow healthy, healing foods. Until next time, it's yours, one and truly, Mecca at Mecca's Healing Journey. And I sign out. Bye. See you next time.